There are many different ways of drawing what an atom looks like. Okay, what scientists have thought the atom looks like has changed over time as scientific equipment becomes more advanced. We are able to learn more and more about the atom. We're going to focus first on this model of the atom. So it's called a Bohr model after Niels Bohr, who is the person who kind of came up with this model of the atom. So here's how the Bohr model works. Okay, in the Bohr model, we are able to see all parts of the atom in their simplest form. So as we know that protons and neutrons go in the nucleus, and so we're going to draw them inside the nucleus. Okay, and then we also know that the electrons go on the energy levels. First energy level, second energy level, third energy level. Okay, we draw electrons as these dots. So this is one of our electrons. Okay, there are a certain number of electrons that can go in each energy level. And you need to know these. So the first energy level can hold 2 electrons. Okay, once we've put 2 electrons in that first energy level, we can't put any more, and we're going to move into the second energy level. So the second energy level can hold 8 electrons, and the third energy level can hold 8 electrons. So I want you to pause the video, and I want you to figure out if you can figure out the fourth, and I'll give you a clue. It's on your periodic table. So the answer is on your periodic table. So my question is, I'm telling you the first energy level can hold 2 electrons, the second can hold 8, the third can hold 8, and I'm asking you to figure out how many the fourth can hold by looking at your periodic table. So pause it here, see if you can figure out, and then play. Okay, did you get it? Let's look. So here's the pattern. If you look at the first row of the periodic table, there's 2 elements. If you look at the second row of the periodic table and you count, there's 8. If you look at the third row, look at that, there's 8. So if you count in the fourth energy level how many elements, the fourth row, how many elements there are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that means that we can have 18 electrons in the fourth energy level. Okay, that's really actually pretty cool, right? I've told you the periodic table is this amazing tool where we learn patterns, and it helps us understand chemistry and learn the rules of chemistry. So here's one of those ways. So let's actually draw one, okay, using these rules. So I'm just going to use boron. So I took a screenshot of boron from your periodic table, but you could find it if you wanted to, okay? And so I've kind of created this template. You can just draw this on a piece of paper, okay? So we're always going to start by just figuring out how many protons, neutrons, and electrons it has. I'm actually going to do protons, electrons, and neutrons because we know that might be easier. So for boron, I know that it has 5 protons because that's the atomic number. I know that it has 5 electrons because it's the same, because it's neutral. And to figure out my neutrons, I'm going to take my mass number, which is 11, and I'm going to subtract it from my atomic number, and that's going to give me 6. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my protons and neutrons in the nucleus. So I'm just going to write their numbers. We're not going to draw circles. So I'm going to write 5p plus 5 protons and 6 neutrons. So I've done my protons and my neutrons. Okay. So then I'm going to put in my electrons. Now we remember that electrons are in the energy levels, so they're going to be circles. Okay, really important, this is not an energy level, this is the nucleus, and we don't put electrons on our nucleus. Okay, so we're going to start here. So I need a total of 5 electrons. So I'm going to put, I'll use it with blue. Okay, so I'm going to put 2 electrons in that first energy level. I don't really care where they are in that first energy level. People teach different things, okay? What is important to me is that it's clear that you've drawn 2. What I don't want is for you to do this, okay? That's really hard for me to see, and if I can't see them, I can't assume you know what to do, okay? So make them really clear and obvious and neat, okay? So I have 2. I'm not done yet because, right, I need 5 electrons total, and I only have 2. So this energy level is full. It can only hold 2. So now I'm going to go to my second energy level. My second energy level can hold 8, but I'm not going to put in 8. I'm only going to put in the amount that I need. So I need 5 total. I already have 2, so all I need is 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Okay. If you're drawing this yourself, usually we don't, let me use white. Usually we don't draw an energy level if it doesn't have any electrons in it. Now the energy level exists, and we'll talk about that later, okay? But usually we only draw the number of energy levels that have electrons in them. So there would only be 2 energy levels in this one, okay? You can take any element, oops, that's still on white. And there, I've done my electrons. Okay, so this is now good. It's always a good idea just to check, especially my electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, especially as we get to bigger atoms. So if you want to do a couple more practice, how about you do, I'll highlight them for you and you can just do these on your paper. Why don't you do, let's do sodium, and how about you do selenium? Okay, so that would just be 2 good ones for practice if you wanted a little bit more practice.